As we head down the stretch in late November, I don't know how many of you have been paying attention, but there have been a lot of special teams plays that have loomed large on some of the games in college football and the NFL. I'm sure that if we were to have the ability to track the same thing at the high school level, you would see the same thing. Such an important part of the game that every year ends up being a big part of the result. So what we want to do today is talk to you about a kickoff return that we think is really a good thing to consider if you're coaching high school, college, or even in the NFL. And I know there are different rules, and how many people you have up here may be a little bit altered just based on the rules. But in high school, a lot of kickers are not talented enough to get the ball to one side or the other, like maybe a special teams coach wants them to. And some special teams coaches don't have a problem kicking the ball down the middle of the field. If you run into that, then probably what you do quite a bit is you have middle returns, because the coverage team still has to cover the edges if the ball's in the middle of the field. So all you need to do is split the coverage and you've got something going. Now, if you have done that during the year, they will eventually start to collapse inside. And so this bounce return right here is something that we've always liked, and it's all pretty simple. Your backside people, we're bouncing it to the right over here. Your backside blockers are really going to do the exact same thing that they've been doing on the middle return. That's one of the reasons we like it so much. You don't change any assignments up here at all, even with your back end right here with your left end. Now on the play side, it's just important that they make it look like it's the same thing that they've been doing. This, we call it a right center, has to let this R4, who he's been blocking on the middle return for most of the season, he's got to let that guy think that he's getting blocked to stay outside. Let him win across your face. Same thing goes for this guard in the R3, this tackle for the R2. And then you want to have the double team right here that lets the R5 win, and then the right end can come over top and get the last guy, last line of defense with the L1. Now in the back end, same thing. A lot of returners are not patient enough. And it's not only the returner that has to be patient, the fullback has to be patient as well. Many cover teams will read the fullback. So if that fullback just starts outside, right away, you're going to have one or two guys probably see that and leak out here and become a problem for you. So what you want to do is really coach everything back here to look the same as it would if you had a middle return, and the returner and the fullback, or whoever you've got back there, need to take 3, 4, 5 steps to the middle before they bounce it, okay? It's not just a normal right or left directional return. It's a bounce. It starts in the middle, pulling everybody down inside, helping these blocks right here by your front line, and then when you bounce it outside, you should have a blocker for the R1, which is probably going to be their safety guy, and now you've got your returner down the sideline. So we've got the coaching points and everything in here. As you can see, I've got the screen kind of shrunk down so you can see the play. But plenty of detail in here for you if you want to get in and take a look at it. But we think this is something that's really good for a return at the high school level.